Hello and welcome to my video. If you are watching this video because you have purchased one of my downloadable sticker sheet from Etsy, then first of all, thank you for your purchase. And I also hope that if you have any questions, this video will answer those for you. So the first things first, I'm using the free version of the Silhouette Studio. If I go to About page, you can see this is called the Silhouette Studio Basic Edition, and you can download this from free from the Silhouette website, so you don't even have to have the paid version in order to print any of my sticker sheets. So let's close this dialog and jump to the sticker sheets. Now it doesn't quite matter which of those sticker sheets you have purchased because they are all very similar and you can follow those steps for any of the sticker sheets. So one thing you have to set in the beginning is the page size. If I open the page setup dialog, which is on the right side, this is the page icon, you have to set the right page size, and it kind of depends where you live. If you are living in the US, you will most likely want this to be set to letter, but if you are living in Europe, you will most likely want to set this to A4 page size. And as you can see, if I switch between those pages, they are quite similar as for the size, and the sticker sheet will still fit because it's in the middle and is a little bit smaller than the paper size. So that's important to set because this size has to match the size of your sticker papers which you may have already purchased. So that's the size of the paper. The second thing is the page background color. Now the thing is, inside the Silhouette Studio there is no way how to set the page background color, so I'm using a little bit of trick here by setting the grid inset, so grid instead, and setting the spacing to be very small to a point where the lines are so close to each other it looks like the page background color. Now the great thing about doing it this way is the page background color will never be printed. So even if you set it to some dark color, you are not wasting any ink because this color will not be printed. And at the same time, you can clearly see the outlines. So for example, in this I have kind of like white outlines around the individual pieces, and I can clearly see them because I have set the page background color. Whereas if I would set this to be white, it would be kind of hard to see how my images are big or how my stickers are big. But again, you can choose to not show the grid if you want. I will zoom out a little bit and I will tell you the third thing which has to be set, but it's already set for you, and those are the registration marks. If I zoom out a little bit more, those are this rectangle and those lines in the corners. And if I go to the page setup, I can open the registration marks, and it's already being set to type number 1, which has to be set for all the newer Cameo machines. And I have the length to be set quite small as well as the inset to be quite small. Now, you may come to the point where after printing and feeding this back into your current machine, the current machine will simply tell you, I'm sorry, I cannot find the registration marks. What happens is maybe those registration marks are very small or they are very close to the edges of the paper. So what you may want to do is you may want to increase the inset a little bit or maybe increase the length a little bit. But I haven't had any problems with this, so just to let you know that if something like this happens, you have to make sure that those registration marks are just a little bit bigger than they are right now. Okay, so let me repeat one more time what I have just said. So when you open my sticker sheet, you don't have to care about the registration marks because those should be already set. You don't have to care about the page background color because this is already set, but it will not be printed, so it could be any color. The only thing that you have to care about is the page size in the page setup dialog, and only when you are living outside the US. So if you are in the US, the page size is already set to letter. If you are from Europe, you have to switch this to A4 just to make sure that it matches the paper size for your sticker paper. Okay, so I will close this and keep it as it, and I will tell you that I have kind of like two different types of the stickers. So the first type is this one. If I zoom in, you can see it's hard to see any cut lines because they are actually not there. So the only cut line I see is for the sticker sheet outside, but those individual images, they seem like they don't have any cut lines, whereas they of course have cut lines set, because if I jump to the send pane, you will see that those individual images has those outlines, so they will be cut perfectly. There's the advantage of doing so because you don't have to care about the cut lines in this view, so you can move stuff around, you can resize stuff around, you can just delete and duplicate everything, and everything will still work perfectly fine because the image itself already have the cut line in there. So let me jump to the send pane and show you how would you actually print and cut the sticker sheet. So for the sticker sheet we want two different types of cuts. for the individual stickers, we want to use what's called the kiss cut. And what kiss cut means is it will only cut the stickers, but not the backing paper. So the backing paper will stay in place, and you can only peel off the individual stickers. Whereas for the sticker sheet itself, which is this blue color, we want this to be cut all the way through. So what comes from the Silhouette cutting machine will be just this sticker sheet, which you can just peel off from the sticker paper, and it will be this size. So we want two different cuts. Now if you have a Cameo 3 or Cameo 4, this machine has two different tool holders, so you can have two different tools in there. And those could be, for example, the auto blade. I mean, in this case, it should be auto blade and the deep cut blade. So you can use the tool number 1, which is this red color, and you can see those red outlines, which will be used for the auto blade, with the auto blade for the kiss cut. And then you can use the second tool, which will be the deep cut blade, which you can use for cutting the sticker sheet. And the great advantage of doing so is that you will never use the auto blade to cut all the way through all the material, which of course decrease the lifespan. So as you are using the auto blade only for the kiss cut, it will last a lot longer than if you would be using the auto blade for all the operations. But in any case, I have set this to sticker paper and the cardstock, but you may want to make some adjustments. I usually go for the sticker itself, for the kiss cut, I usually go for 2 or 3 for the depth. Speed should be fine for 8, whatever works for you, and force around 20. But you may want to do some test cuts to see what settings works for you the best. And it not only depends on your sticker paper, it also depends on the age of your knife. So in the beginning, when the knife is very sharp, I would maybe go with 2, and I will decrease the force to maybe even like 15 or so, and it will still work perfectly fine. It will cut very nicely. But as the time goes, and the knife is not so sharp anymore, I would increase the depth, I would increase the force, until I will find out that the force is so big and the depth is so big that I actually need to replace my knife. For the deep cut blade, you not only want to set the depth in here, but you actually want to take the actual deep cut blade tool and set the depth, because this setting will not be set automatically. You have to manually set the depth on your deep cut blade. So that's one way how to cut all the stickers. There is a second way which only requires one tool, which is the auto blade. And in order to do so, we have to switch the action. So by now the action will be set by the simple, so the simple type of action, and we want to set this to action by line. So the setting for the cutting will be defined by the line color. Now the images has no line, so it's indicated by no color, and you can see it's a black outline. We have the sticker paper with the auto blade. We have to set this to auto blade. So the sticker paper with the auto blade, and the tool number 1 is used. You can switch the tools using those circles. So the red one is first tool, the second one, the blue one, is second tool. So we want to use the same first tool for the auto blade for the cutting the kiss cut for the stickers, and then for the outer path for the sticker sheet we will use the same tool. We will use the same auto blade, but with the different settings, of course, bigger depth and bigger force for the sticker sheet. So that's the second way how to cut the stickers and the sticker sheet using just one tool, just the auto blade. And again, for some unknown reason, it's changing to ratchet blade. This should be, of course, set to auto blade for both, like so. I mean, it should be set to auto blade, but sometimes, Cameo Silhouette Studio decides that it wants to change it to different things. So it's also always a good idea to make sure that everything is set the way it should be. So no matter what type of cutting you select, if you select using two different tools or just one tool, what you have to do now is select File, Print, and print this on your printer. Then you will feed it on your Silhouette color machine and click Send. You can see I don't have this color machine connected right now, but you would click Send and it will just cut it for you, hopefully perfectly fine. So let's jump back to the design page. As I've said previously, those stickers don't have any cut lines visible, but they are all set. So what I can do is I can maybe remove this sticker sheet, and I can try to fill this with all the other stickers. So maybe I can select one of those and select this duplicate icon to duplicate this one more time. Maybe I want more of those trees, so I can also click the Alt key on my keyboard and drag it around to create a copy. And I can do this multiple times to create a lot of copies very quickly, like so. If I still press the Alt key on my keyboard, maybe I don't like some of those, so maybe I can delete this. Or maybe I need some of those to be a little bit bigger so I can make a little bit more space. and try to resize it a little bit more. And those stickers are in a decent resolution, so I can still make it bigger if I want, and it will print perfectly fine. Of course, you cannot do it, or you cannot resize it to be like a full screen, because in this case it will not have enough resolution. And you can easily tell if it's fine or not if I try to resize it way too much. At some point I will see this triangle, warning triangle on the left top side of the page telling me that there is a low resolution image in there, which may be a little bit pixelated. So I want to make this a little bit smaller just to make sure that it will be crisp and clear. Okay, so that's the one type of stickers where there is this white outline around the images. There is also a second type of stickers where the color goes all the way to the edge of the sticker. For example, this cute cat badges. You can see if I zoom in a little bit that those stickers are all the way to the edge of the sticker, which is defined by this pink cut line. And the reason for this is, even if you try your best, the silhouette color may, not register those positions properly. And I'm not saying that it will not register this properly. It will just, it's very hard to make sure to cut on the very same position as it was printed. And of course, there will always be a little bit of offset, and it could be really a fraction of inch. It will be very, very small offset. But if you do the sticker in a way that the cut line will be around the color, what may happen is it will be, just a little bit offsetted, so it will show the white color. And let me just turn off the grid so you can see it better. So if it, this will not happen because we have a lot of color around the cut line. What you have to keep in mind is we have a separate cut line, which is this pink path, and we have the separate image, which is this pink cat. So if you want to move stuff around, you have to select both of those by dragging the selection rectangle. Or what you can do is you can select both and select object group to make sure that those are in the same group. So when you move it, you are moving both the image and the cut line. So that's the second type of sticker. Otherwise, everything is the same for those type of stickers. You will also set the page size. You can also set the page background and the registration marks. And for the cutting itself, you still have two different options using two different tools for the kiss cut for the stickers and different cut for the sticker sheet, or you can use cutting by line. And in here, the difference is we now have three different options, three different items. The no color are the images. They have no color, but in this case they shouldn't be cut because those are bigger. So we will actually set this to not do anything. This checkbox says I don't want to do anything with this color, with the images. I want to cut those pink ones using the first tool set to some setting, and I want to cut the other one, the sticker sheet, with the different settings using the same tool, using the same auto blade. So that's the only difference. Now if you find that, for example, it's in the wrong order, for example like so, that first it will be cutting the sticker sheet and then it will be cutting the individual stickers, you may want to drag these things around to make sure that they are in the right order, like so. So this is first and this is second. And that's it. That's how you print and cut my sticker sheet from my Etsy shop, which you can find on the web page CuteAndGlued.etsy.com. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to put those in the comments below and I will try to answer those as soon as possible. Thank you for watching and I hope you like my stickers. See you next time. Bye.